I'm Andy Richter, Asset Management Supervisor for the City of Colorado Springs, and this is how we work with Cartegraph. Colorado Springs first implemented Cartegraph in 2005 with just the traffic engineering division, and then we grew from there. We currently are using Cartegraph in 10 out of 17 departments in the city. Hopefully by the end of 2016, we'll have right around 350 users. We really needed in the organization, we had a hard time documenting where our assets were. We had no idea of location, condition, and number of them. And so we really wanted to blend in the request and create an electronic thread through the process from maintenance activities and have it tied directly to the asset. Once we implemented the product, there's other divisions that are like, we're in the same situation, right? And so we really want to move away from a paper environment, more electronic, and be able to track the same sort of information that traffic was. And so as we grew through public works, that's when forestry, Pikes Peak, America's Mountain, and then here recently Park and Rec and Cultural Services implemented the product. We're looking at probably just over $2 million in return on investments and over the last 10 years of using Cartegraph in the city. Some of those key examples is tracking damaged infrastructure. So as signs, guardrail are damaged, we're tracking that information to get an accident report to bill for damage. Another one of those really good examples is reducing steps in the workflow process. And so we've been able to, with Traffic Engineering Division, eliminate 5 steps in the workflow process. Going wireless in the field, so taking the paper process out of the equation. Those 2 examples right there is about a $1.2 million return on investment. Prior to Cartegraph, we were lucky if we were able to recoup $1,000 in sign damage for the entire year. After implementing Cartegraph, we've been able, in the first quarter of 2016, was about $70,000 return. Just for guardrail, signs, and signal damage. In the last few years, we've had a lot of natural disasters in the city. We've had 2 major devastating fires and several flood events. Through that process, using Cartegraph, we've been able to track all of our resources for those events and be able to justify those costs to FEMA and get restitution back into our funds. Without the technology, it's almost next to impossible to compile that type of information that's accurate. Utilizing Cartegraph and Esri's ArcGIS Online has opened brand new doors to us that we've never thought about before. So automation, using linear referencing systems, we can actually look at inventorying sign assets that contractors install with the use of base maps without having each crew have an electronic device to inventory with GPS coordinates. Another great example is cone zones. So we're treating cone zones, even though there might be short-term or long-term, we're actually able to have that as assets, so where that way it ties directly into ArcGIS Online and feeds into a map for our citizens to view. So as cone zones are retired or the project is finished, then they'll automatically be taken off the map. That alone, that automation has saved 286 hours a year, about $10,700 in labor costs a year. Cartegraph is crucial for our day-to-day operations. I can't imagine not using the product and going back to our old ways. It's just proven to be a model for success for our organization.